Danger.
Ну, короче, вот. Благо прокачал себе Цзинлю. Хоть немножко. Конус говна. Ну как? Лучший из вариантов, которые есть у меня выкачанные. Вот это я хотел сделать. Пятый пробуду. Сигну не буду убивать пока на реране, наверное.
Danger.
Все пока хорошо идет. Ну это обычный ритуал с фармом.
We have the upper hand.
Блин. Из-за настроек графики, которые я чуть-чуть переделал, так непривычно.
Ready for another?
Не понял сопротивление эффекта.
Your end approaches. That paradise may savor it for me.
Нифига он не кританул, ты чё, черт? Офигел.
Here, try this.
Unnecessary. To fail to send you.
Commencing support.
Stand down. Blade of moonlight. The moon shines on the truth.
Asking for trouble, huh?
Enemy targets detected.
Одна волна, че я тут
Enemy data
вот
system
так
network
сделаю
is
просто.
activated. Time for a good old
Не
counter.
хочу так сюда.
Unworthy.
Сейчас потрачу или не потрачу. Не буду тратить похи.
Blade of moonlight.
Ну да, не нужно было. Слишком сильно убивать. Шпейли после наложения. Давайте щит. На всякий случай.
The moon shines on the truth.
Эти безуязвимость. Хотя нужно было
Commencing support.
с Блейда долбануть.
Ready for another?
Что-то я заснул.
Blade of moonlight. In lunar flame.
Можно было использовать вот эту хрень, ну ладно. Не важно. Давайте события посмотрим.
The moon shines on the truth.
Ну, если накинуть... У меня активно Да. Ну, можно, конечно. Срать.
I taste some malice in the air.
О, сейчас разнесем его. Разнесем, да. Чуть ли не забыл.
Infallible.
The moon shines on the truth.
Ну, полный прокаст. Наверное, не нужно было делать, но я хочу.
Do we still have the upper hand? To travel far.
Повысив скорость. Да, работает сет
Thanks
на
for the
ней.
support. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. All things human creations.
Неплохо она дала 19-шку. Удобные на самом деле техники у них всех. Экономят просто кучу очков действий.
Blade of moonlight.
Ого! Вот это урон.
Commencing research.
Неплохо. Нравится.
I see through you. Enemy targets detected.
Да, да.
A quick divination. Together as one. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Че, он призовет своих друзей? Кто мне пишет?
I see through you. Hesitation only breeds chaos.
Так, долбанем. Обязательно долбанем, но потом. Вот сейчас, например.
All things in this world have
Надо было сначала, ладно.
creations.
Ну, мы его сейчас и так вынесем.
We have the upper hand.
All will be revealed in lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Ну у меня не совсем верная тест, потому что сейчас объясню почему. У меня нет столько крита на ней.
Commencing support. Together as one. Ready for another? Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Deep breath.
Stand down.
To travel far.
Наоборот, это было ладно. Я немножко затупил.
A
All
quick
will be
divination.
revealed.
Ну, ебал. Ну, ладно. То красиво закончил. Кал. Или нет? Кал, да. Где распад? А распад не дают, понимал. Кал на переработку. Но мне, в принципе, он нужен. Солео, да? Сейчас заканчивается. Что тут? Следующая рума. Ну да. Сейчас посмотрим, что можно сделать. У Аля не такой уязвимости. Понизить их скорость, вот это неплохо, кстати. Ну, тут я выкручу шанс максимум. Но обычно вот это стоит брать. Могу, кстати, два взять. Одно такое на... И первое уровня, другое. Кстати, неплохо. А чем разница? Я просто плохо знаю эти благословления. Шанс заморозить. Похер, давайте выкрутим максимум.
I taste some malice in the air.
Сейчас аж школа лопнет, по-моему, у него.
Infallible.
The moon shines on the truth.
Рассказ так называемый. Пошел.
Do we still have the upper hand? Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Tedious. Ha! Blade of moonlight. In lunar flame.
Короче, у меня есть штука, дающая первый доллар.
Commencing research. All things in the human creations.
Да-да, похрюкай.
Enemy targets detected.
Это же тебе поможет, да?
Specimen sighted. Together as one.
Try harder.
I think something bit me. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Ready for another?
Nowhere to run.
Опять проебанная ульта.
To travel.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
I think something. A quick divination. Human creations. Commencing support.
Сколько урона? Я не увидел.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Blade of moonlight.
Нифига, кстати, резонанс бахает.
Specimen sighted.
Try harder. All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
We have the upper hand. Enemy data net markers activated.
Ну, наверное, нужно было этих бревен дождаться от него. Ну ладно.
Commencing research.
Так долбанем, как говорится.
Ready for death.
Together as one.
Давай. Полечился, молодец.
Specimen sighted. To travel far. All things in this
Хлебало
world,
посмотрим.
creations. Enemy targets detected. Enemy data net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Stand down. Blade of moonlight. All will be revealed.
Зря нажал так рано. Ну ладно.
In lunar flame.
А, не добила крайний. Прикольненько. Я не думал, что крайний добьет. Не видно, сколько еще действий будет. Матрица. 2 хода.
Enemy data net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Specimen sighted. I see through you. Together as one.
Ready for death.
Commencing support. Ready for another? To travel.
Save it for your own skin.
Enemy targets detected. All things in this world have their human creations. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. We came together.
All will be revealed in lunar flame.
Лень было ждать еще одного хода. Ну, кэша перебор, зато 2 к 1, как говорится. Было бы благо на охоту, которая позволяет преобразовать в урон, крит урон, крит шанс, крит урон. Забавно, ну да.
The combat report will be ready soon.
Все тогда. Не, ну, с Блейдом дольше буду, потому что у него нет уязвимости. Ну, этого оленя к ветру. А с этим седанчиком я не пробовал, хотя я думал, он его вынесет. Даже, ну, вряд ли быстрее, потому что здесь вот это пригодится. Сломанный киль, правда, статы говна. Пусть будет. Все-таки любая веревка на восстанову редко. Скорость. Как урон. Скриптом. Вдруг защита кому-нибудь нужна будет. Потом лучше их всех раскрою и уберу. И какую-то ачивку дали. А это пропуск, я не туда посмотрел. Эту одну в неделю дают, я еблан, я думал 2. Ладно, я потом пройду еще раз. Че выкачать? Ну ладно. Вот это нужно так-то выкачать. Что за ачивка? А, это я понял, да. Наберите 0 или меньше. Внимание, вопрос, а как набрать меньше? Ладно, 0. Это должно повести по количеству. Как мне повезло. Долги? Надеюсь, меня не забанят. Так, в принципе, можно теперь всегда ходить. Но пока не запустится заново анимация. Пока моделька персонажа, короче, не обновится. Или локация. То есть, если я выйду, маска появится.
Where there
The
are
rumors are
people,
already
there is
circulating.
noise.
Let's gather some intel first.
Понял. Ваша мать прекрасная женщина. Саму маску. Ну, это надо смотреть, это лорные какие-то истории. О, семья, кстати. Про семью можно посмотреть, это на Пиноконе будет. Это про гармонию. Да, на Пиноконе. Нихуевое доказательство семьи. Только сейчас вот это увидел. Поехали ивент смотреть.
Where there are people, there is noise.
Ну, согласен, где люди, там шум. Ненавижу шум от людей.
Welcome back. I appreciate your help more than I can express. It couldn't have been easy running all over the city.
That's what friends are for, Branya. You don't sound like yourself. Is something wrong?
I'm fine. I haven't rested in a while. There's just
Too much happening all at once.
Literally.
Perhaps, but the IPC won't wait for me to catch up. They're moving quickly. Belobog is crawling with their agents. All they talk about is asset evaluation. The silver lining is that apart from the mine incident you mentioned, there haven't been any major conflicts in other areas. I suppose Topaz must have issued an order against harassing the citizenry. Still, that hasn't stopped panic from building. People are confused. They don't know where these strangers in black came from, nor what their intentions are.
Did you manage to get in touch with Topaz again? We're curious to know what solution she has in mind.
That's the reason I asked for you to come here. I need your advice. Look.
А, это ее история.
The contract Topaz sent to me a little while ago. There's a handwritten letter attached. Please, take a look at the contents, and then tell me your thoughts.
Miss Branya, if you'll permit me to call you that, I'd like to share a story with you from my own life.
Проклятый
In your
капиталист.
eyes, the IPC may seem heartless or cruel, but in reality, we all have a story to tell. As my home planet was extremely resource poor, given these circumstances, the
Вот я
natural
видел.
environment of my home planet became increasing. My home was facing its demise. Finally, one fateful day, the IP 2 years after signing the contract, the dark clouds and haze disappeared. When I was finally old enough, I officially became a member of the strategic, and I am writing to you. I know freedom is precious to people, but how many generations of Belabogians will it take to embrace the stars again without assistance? Who can guarantee? I have already negotiated the best possible deal for you. Once you sign this contract, all of Belobog's debts will be forgiven.
Продайте
Addition.
Ашку.
The IPC, I can understand that for you, this is an extremely difficult, but because of this, I believe that you
Она
will
действительно в это
make
верит.
the right
Ну, и
decision.
вроде как в Ивенте действительно
A
будет так,
decision
но по
that
итогу,
will
наверное, КМ будет
truly
засранцами.
benefit your people.
Просто в некоторых
Her
моментах не
words
совсем
do
так.
sound quite sincere. What do you make of it?
Тут без разницы.
I agree. But it struck me as an honest letter. I found the contents quite moving. It's hard to imagine she'd write something like this just to deceive me. In any case, she wasn't wrong when she said this would be an extremely difficult decision.
Ну, там не вранье, но все же.
This planet's fate, the civilization it carries, everything that's happened here and everything that will happen, it all rests in my hands. This definitely can't, and shouldn't, be a decision made by me alone. That thought has crossed my mind, and it comforts me to hear you say that.
Right. I don't think it's fair for you to carry the weight alone. Why not discuss it with others first?
Topaz hasn't given me much time to consider. She wants me to decide as soon as possible. I wanted to put it to a vote, and let all the citizens of both the overworld and the underworld have their say. But with such little time, I'm afraid that's a lost cause. I'll convene the Klapoth Fort architects immediately to discuss the contract. As for the locals, I'd like you to gauge their stance on the matter. The people of Belobog hold both of you in high regard. They'll most certainly be willing to tell you their thoughts.
this matter to the Belabogians. Don't you agree? We've got your back. We failed to convince Topaz, but this should be a piece of cake.
Thank you, March. I'll assemble the ministers. Let's meet up here again later.
All right. If we want to make an informed decision, we need to hear...
We meet again. Uh-oh. That look on your face tells me something's wrong. Sounds serious. Really? You better not be making things up.
I wish it were made up. Unfortunately, it's all true.
Вот нету здесь
We
рядом.
don't have much time, Pela. Branya wants to get everyone...
Wait, you're telling me I have to make this huge decision on the spot? At least give me a few seconds to think it over. Okay, if it were up to me, I'd probably agree to the IPC's conditions.
Huh.
I've looked at some of the climate reports, and based on the data I've seen, it'll take 3 or 4 more generations, and that's assuming no other disasters occur. I care more about those in the present than a future I can't be sure of. If the IPC is able to bring about immediate change, then I think that's a price well worth paying. Building a better world for future generations sounds great, right? But is it any fun for the engineers and architects who are directly involved?
I see. So, compared to a distant and uncertain future, what you really... Thanks for your input.
Well, look who we have here. Uh-oh, sounds like something serious is happening. You'd better fill me. What? How is that possible? I need a moment.
Но она
to
не
get my head around
согласится.
this.
Serval, we're raised...
It's okay. I've thought it through. If it
Ah,
were up to
ладно.
me, I'd...
What? Hold on, are you
Я тоже,
serious?
кстати.
I thought you'd...
Surprised? My reasons are pretty simple. Signing this contract would mean we no longer have to worry about surviving.
Ну ясно,
As
понятно,
for
не
working
удивлен.
for the company, people need to work no matter where they are, right? You know, I've always longed for the stars since I was a child, which is why I devoted myself to science and the studying of the stellar.
Thanks for your input.
Ладно, все согласны, как говорится. Где еще третий? Там.
Is that the Trailblazers? It's been a while. I didn't think you'd be... It's been pretty hectic in the city lately. All these people dressed in black suddenly showed up, and... You need my opinion? So that's who they are. It's worse than I imagined. The Madam Guardian must be under a lot of pressure. Is there really nothing we can do to assist her?
We're here to gather everyone's opinion on the matter. I know this is a little sudden, but we're running out of time. What's your take?
Why, I'd refuse the contract, of course. There is no room for compromise. Just look at them. Arrogant, stomping around here as if they own the place. How can such people be trusted? Who's to say they won't
Дан
breach the
выдает
contract?
бас.
Faced with this sort of coercion, we must resist them with all our might. Surrendering is not an option. You must warn the Madam Guardian not to allow herself to fall into their trap.
A soldier's perspective is always valuable, Dun. Thanks for your input.
На самом деле все правы.
Did we miss anyone in the overworld? I think we asked just about
А
everyone
подземье,
we
наверное,
needed
наоборот
to.
будет против.
From what I
Всё.
gathered, it Seems like most people in the overworld are leaning towards signing the IPC's contract.
Подземный, наоборот, будет крайне против, я думаю. Зелье скажет, мамку вашу шатала. Че у Зелья спрашивать, она их бам-бам взорвала. Всех
Where there are
порвать
people,
хочет.
there is noise.
What brings you two to the underworld? Seems a little out of the blue, but... That is a lot of information to take in. Sorry, both of you. I know you're in a...
No stress now.
I've thought about it, and... Well, if I were Bronya, I wouldn't sign it. I won't deny the offer on the table is a very tempting one. And if we refuse, Belobog will not only have the burden of a huge debt, we may also incite the rat. But even so, the quote I read back in school came to me just now. Those who are willing to give up freedom for security will end up with neither.
Ну, в целом тоже база.
Living in the underworld has taught me that this phrase is true. I'd rather trek through the frigid snow plains than live in a beautiful cage.
Wow, that's a pretty convincing argument. Another vote for the against pile. Thanks for your insight, Nat.
Че 2 на 2, да? Зелье тоже будет против. И кто-то один отсюда будет, наоборот, за. О, Олег. У вас сюда дебила на самбо убрали.
None other than the saviors of Belobog. To what do I owe the pleasure? To be honest, I'm surprised you even remembered an old geezer like me. But I can tell by the look on your faces you're probably not dropping. Let me guess. Something to do... Well, ask away. I see. That's a tricky situation, all right. A lot for anyone to handle, let alone someone as young as Lady Bronya.
Mr. Oleg, out of all the people we know...
Want to hear the truth? I'm afraid if this IPC does indeed possess the magical... Have you considered the opposite? What about if we refuse? What worries me the most is how Lady Bronya will handle the backlash from her people. Will she be able to withstand the criticism? Is she prepared to carry the weight of a tarnished reputation for years to come?
Ну да, если она действительно будет последней верховной хранительницей. А дальше все захватит от тебя словно кабана. Okay, man.
Huh. I guess I never looked at it from that angle. I wouldn't wish that title on anyone. Thank you for your thoughts, Mr. Oleg. Another vote for the 4 pile.
Ну, еще один против, да, будет. И нам... Клара, да? С Сварогом. Или Сварогом. Сворожище. Сварог вроде хочет согласиться. А Клара? Клара вряд ли согласится.
Miss March, big sister.
What? Hey there, Claire.
Mr. Svarog went out for a walk with a lady called Topaz.
What? Topaz?
I'm not sure, but Mr.
What now? Svarog...
Не-не, Клара также важна.
True. Don Hung's always saying that Clara's really insightful for her age.
Huh? Miss March, do you want to ask me something? That's complicated. I don't know what to say.
It's all right, Clara. No
I think if we have a choice for the future, it should be everyone's decision. Because when I was playing with Hook, everyone has different dreams. If we accept just taking away people's dreams like that...
You're right. Just the thought of our lives being predestined. Thanks, Clara.
Кто-то против. 3 на 3, как всегда. В целом, не удивлен.
Hope so. The votes are completely even.
Ого!
I
Не,
don't know what to do.
вот этого
Both sides
неожиданно.
have really
Еще этот житель. Блин, интересно.
Oh, right. We haven't asked
Ну,
Zila.
Зеля скажет, идите
She's
нахер.
probably still in the Great.
А че ее спрашивать? Она скажет, резать их всех нужно. Ой, что? Осуждаю. Пытаю опять РП.
Back so soon. Are you feeling all right? You look a little uneasy. I can tell from your tone that this isn't gonna be a lighthearted chat. I think I get it. At first, I thought it was just a few IPC ruffians over...
Yeah, you didn't think.
Right.
As it stands, the.
In that case, I abstain.
What?
I've thought about it. This responsibility rests on Bronya's shoulders, not mine. No matter the choice she makes, she has far greater foresight than I do. The vote is tied. If I were to give you my view, it would tip
Тоже
the
база.
scales and I'll...
Understood, Zila. It's times like these that'll.
Right. It's Bronya's decision. She knows what's at stake. She won't run away from her duty. I trust her wholeheartedly. If she asks you, just let her know my reasoning.
Какое доверие к своей жене? Ой,
She'll
что?
understand.
Well, it's all in Bronya's hands now. She has to
Да-да.
make the final call. Right? I'm glad Belobog has someone like her in charge. The time has come. Let's go fill her in. I'm curious to see how she's handling those Klapoth ministers.
Where there are people, there is noise.
Whoa, the fort's packed. I've never seen
том
this
же
many
хотел
people here
сказать.
before. Oh, jeez, I can barely even hear myself think.
March, you're back. So, what's the verdict?
We talked to people in both the overworld and the underworld. The final result was a tie.
I see. I suppose everyone has their own way of seeing things. I can't say I'm surprised. What was Zila's perspective on the matter? I should have known. That sounds like Zila, all right.
Did you come to a conclusion with the ministers? Oh, it's so loud I can't tell what anyone's saying.
It's pretty much the same situation here. The time has come to make a decision. This chaos cannot be allowed to continue any longer.
Enough! All of you! I know what to do.
Wait! something to say to the Supreme Guardian.
Ни хрена сцена.
But aren't you?
Himeko? Wait, is that the real you or a hologram?
It's the real me, March. Real as they come.
Miss Himeko from the Astral Express? It's an honor. Thank you for all your help in our previous campaign. Things might have turned out differently without your support. If we had known of your arrival beforehand, the architects would have given you a proper welcome. I'm afraid the current circumstances are quite exceptional.
I understand, Miss Rania. No need to explain. Your city is facing immense difficulties. My intention is simply to ensure that you have all the relevant intel. I hesitate to call it a solution, but I might have some information that might help. It is my hope that with this information, you will be better equipped as the Supreme Guardian to make a wise and informed decision.
Information? Please, tell me what you know, Miss Himeko.
I happen to have a friend with knowledge of Topaz. What Topaz said about her home world is indeed true, which is why she believes that the IPC's takeover of Belobog is the only way of ensuring the city's survival. But there is one thing she intentionally left out. Not all worlds that have accepted the IPC's terms have been saved.
You mean...
Performing ecological reconstruction on a planet carries inevitable risks. According to the intel provided by my friend, the success rate for the ecological reconstruction of worlds using the IPC's technology is 63%.
Only 63% of planets succeed? That's not exactly comforting.
This is the overall average across all IPC projects. The success rate of projects personally handled by Topaz is above 80%. She's undoubtedly one of the most capable people in her field. I wanted to bring these numbers, these probabilities, to light. I think it's only fair that you know all the facts before making a decision. Ultimately, it's up to you, Supreme Guardian, to make the final call.
I understand. Thank you, Miss Himeko. This information is of great help. Regardless of how alluring their promises may be, this contract is nothing more than a gamble. As a leader, I cannot let the future of Belobog hinge on a roll of the dice.
Now that you've decided,
No.
I don't have to pretend to be impartial anymore. I think you're making the right choice, Branya.
Astral friends, I have an idea, but for it to work, I'll need everyone's cooperation. I need some time to rally all the residents in the city, and then I'll meet with Topaz again. Please locate her for me. It doesn't matter where she is or what she's doing. And if the IPC is still trying to take over Belobog's assets, I ask that you do everything in your power to stop them.
Don't worry. Leave it to us. We'll find her. It won't be easy dealing with her, but these two will help me get the job done.
Belobog's future is not for sale. And we'll never forget the friends who stood by us in our time of need. Not once, but twice. Stay safe, everyone.
Shepard should be waiting for us. Here we go again.
Do you need me to formulate the next plan?
He really said that to
The Supreme Guardian has briefed me on the situation. Ready to enter Rivet Town? Keep your guards up.
Можно в прикол взять первопроходца. И Март можно взять, но она, бля, не прокачана. Ну, типа, исторический отряд, я не знаю. Назову здесь не подходит. А похер, короче. По пиву. На самом деле хочется взять. Бля, кстати, конус топас. Замечательную куртку мне ставят, спасибо. А, 2 на 2 может что-то взять. Я не буду качать даже.
Destination reached.
Ого.
Wow, would you look at that? Huh. I never would have guessed it'd be here. But I don't see any mech or weapons. This place is completely surrounded by mountains. Surely they can't be.
Affirmative. The weapons are concealed within the towering rock formations.
No wonder we couldn't find the automaton factory. It was right under our noses all along. Wait a minute. You said these weapons have been hidden here from the very beginning? That means the architects of Eurillo 6 never used them in their fight against the Legion.
Correct. After the IPC departed from this world more than 700 years ago, no one has possessed the necessary knowledge for activating these weapons. The architects used the IPC blueprints to construct replica automatons. However, the overwhelming majority of the combatants, commanded by Elisa Rand, were human.
I see. The stories about this world are truly captivating.
I would like to ask you a question, Topaz.
You're awful polite for a big robot. Ask. Don't be shy.
Я немножко извиняюсь. Я просто скажу два слова. Забыл только, как он правильно называется. О, Лейла Варчур.
If the IPC does not intervene, this world is doomed. Are you convinced of this conclusion beyond any doubt?
Yes. I've gone through countless case studies, and they all point to the same conclusion. Any world that comes into contact with a Stellaron is doomed. On the surface, things may appear to be getting better since the Astral Express lent a helping hand. But sooner or later, the underlying problems will resurface. A looming crisis can often lie hidden beneath the illusion of prosperity, unnoticed by many.
Understood.
Understood. That's it? You don't have any thoughts on the matter?
Emotional readings indicate that your response is sincere and accurate. That is all I wish to confirm regarding this matter. While my opinion on the future of this planet may differ from yours, it ultimately holds no weight. I am merely a tool, not a decision maker.
If only my colleagues had the same self-awareness as you. Come on, Numby. We've got some assessing to do.
Topaz disappeared after leaving Rivet Town. In her absence, her subordinates flooded in and took over.
The IPC soldiers are well equipped. It wouldn't be wise to fight them head on.
You're right, Miss Himiko. We'll be using the automaton stealth bomb to cover our trap. I'll explain later.
Look, down there!
Новая локация.
Keep noise to a minimum, and it's time to deploy the automaton.
Тихо, бля.
Where are you going?
I know that your urge to fight is overwhelming.
Да подожди.
Are you ready? Remember, try to avoid being...
Бам-бам-бам. Стреляем по... Ладно, здесь должна была быть шутка. Просто Луна Пейстра, ну на И, но не будет. Ладно, я успел.
Oh, wow! We wiped them all out in a single explosion! That's what you call efficiency!
It's a shame we had to resort to this method, but we had no choice.
Ступик, да? Прикольно.
You silver main
Потом он
guards sure are
откроется, я
a
так понимаю.
righteous bunch.
Это, видимо, тоже можно потом будет открыть.
I've seen standard issue robots like these before. It's an IPC.
Correct. The exterior is similar to the... Hopefully the automaton stealth bomb was... Are you ready? Remember.
Бля, ну это, конечно, с телефончика позвонить, так сказать, сделать взрыв. Кто-то так же делает. Можно туда сбегать? Нельзя. Я уже нажал.
Are you ready? Remember, try to avoid...
Я уже нажал. Бабах, Аллах Акбар. Осуждаю.
Woohoo! The coast is clear.
Ну это реально сделали просто.
Good thing everything went according to plan.
Именно это и сделали. Подрыв, так сказать.
This is the road that Topaz took when she left Rivet Town.
Let's find her.
This time.
Здорово, дед.
Mr. Svarog? Are you all right?
Greetings, outsiders. System functions are normal. Such a result would be highly undesirable. Topaz is ahead. She had the means to force me to comply with her orders, but chose not to. From her perspective, the only way to preserve Belobog is by incorporating it into the IPC. While it is unlikely, I still encourage the avoidance of any potential conflicts.
Unlikely potential?
Don't worry, March. The Express never pursues conflict as a first means. But if it...
Himiko's right. As long as we can look... Why would Topaz come here? Is she looking for something?
It's possible. Many mysteries lurk beneath the surface of this world.
Нифига тут эти стоят. А борьба будет?
Oh, hey there, slowpokes. I was starting to think you weren't gonna show up. This lady next to Miss March looks oddly familiar.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Topaz. I'm Himiko, the Astral Express's navigator.
Oh, wow. I remember now. The illustrious Miss Himiko. Some of my colleagues dream about meeting you. Of course! The Nameless have quite the reputation. You're following in the footsteps of the great Akavili, after all.
I'm pleased to see how well everyone's been getting along. Topaz, based on your greeting, I presume you have a good grasp of the current situation?
Of course! The deadline has already passed, but Branya still hasn't signed the contract. I think I can guess what's holding her back.
Please, don't misunderstand us, Miss Topaz. We have no intention of opposing the IPC or its board of directors, but we have very dear friends on Eurilo 6. Standing idly by and watching them sign an unfair contract goes against everything the Nameless are about.
Miss Himeko, sorry for interrupting, but this doesn't sound like a negotiation.
We needn't waste our time, March. She made her decision 10 minutes ago.
There's no fooling the Astral Express. You're absolutely right. Differing views don't necessarily mean one person is right and the other is wrong. However, to keep things moving forward, there's usually only one solution.
Huh? What do you mean?
My superiors have granted me the approval I need.
Тебя наберет.
You're very curious about my work, aren't you? So many eager faces. I won't keep you in the dark any longer. Approval to launch an attack on the members of the Astral Express.
The best kept secret to getting something over the line? Always be ready to turn the tables. Go, Numby. Projects under my wing have no room for error.
Похрюкаем. Не понял, это бан. Так, выглядит как банка. Пока вот и залетает.
Enemy data signet markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Unworthy.
To travel.
Save it for your own skin.
I'm on guard.
Я сейчас убью всех.
Blade of moonlight. All will be revealed in lunar flame.
I think something bit me.
Ready for death?
Enemy data signet markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Ready for another? Not good.
Lance at the ready. Lance ablaze. Lance forward.
А то фас желтый вроде, да?
Tedious.
Enemy data signet markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Блин, забавно проходить этот ивент, играя за топаз. Я топаз вообще практически не смотрел, как она играется. Там, ну, не свинья, по сути, только играет. Я не буду крутить, она мне не нужна по геймплею. Успокойся, дядя. С Фусюань, конечно, было бы проще, но это неинтересно. Сейчас я раздам.
Blade of moonlight. In lunar flame.
Commencing research. Enemy targets detected. Enemy data net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Specimen sighted. Gotta stop the bleeding.
Nowhere to run.
Энергии не хватило.
Lance ablaze. Lance forward.
Не понял, что началось-то.
Here, try this.
Nice teamwork.
To travel far. Thanks for the support.
All will be
Опять я не то
revealed.
нажал. Сейчас урона не будет.
In lunar flame.
Фига.
Commencing support.
Видимо, будет.
Enemy data net markers activated. Time for a good
Ладно,
old
это легко
counterattack.
побеждалось.
Unworthy. Blade of moonlight.
Неплохие 60к.
Commencing research.
Ну чё, похрюкнулись?
Incredible. No wonder the Astral Express is so highly regarded. Finished warming up? Now it's my turn.
Stop! All of you, put down your weapons.
I need more bullets.
Branya! Oh, you're here just in time. Things were about to
Bigger
get out of
bones.
control.
Supreme Guardian. I was starting to wonder whether you'd
Так,
let the
ты
Express
давай
do
не
it again
хрюкай,
for
дура.
themselves.
Давай.
That would hardly be
Обосралась
becoming of you.
сиденье со свином своим.
I would never do such a thing. There was an important matter that required my attention.
More important than this?
Yes. I think you'll understand the significance once you see it. In short, I need you to help us evaluate our current progress.
Help you? That's interesting. I was under the impression you'd already decided to obstruct our operations here.
Раз он залагал.
I have read your letter word for word, Miss Topaz. And your childhood experiences truly touched me. Your hometown once experienced a similar catastrophe to Yorillo. It's because of this empathy you have that I still hold out a glimmer of hope. Despite all that's happened, I hope we can still find common ground through peaceful means.
I have to admit, talking to you is always such a pleasure. I apologize for my behavior just now. It was
inappropriate.
Нахрюкала. Достаточно было потрогать за больное.
I admire your determination. Seeing as we've come this far, I've changed my mind. I'll hold off a
Ого,
little
но ты же
longer
говорила,
and
что
see what you
все
have to
твои
show me.
действия, ну типа, чтобы
But
начальство
remember,
там, ну, то есть,
winning over the
я просто
higher-ups
делаю работу.
won't be easy.
I
Нахрюк
understand.
получается.
That's why I've been taking things one step at a time. The first step, members of the Express will need...
Придумывайте, давайте, что вы хотите сделать. Какие бизнес-схемы. Точнее, знаю уже. Я еще не буду время тратить, поэтому поставлю вот это вот.
What a dismal sight. This district. Have you been here before?
Yes. This is where we put an end to it all.
В открытом мире забавно. Типа,
And
я
then
понял.
began again.
Kyle, sorry for the delay. Are we clear to proceed?
The path ahead is clear, Madam Guardian.
Excellent. The mountain road ahead. Let's go.
Новая локация или старая?
What is this
Новая
place?
локация.
We've never been here before, right?
Действительно не были.
We've only recently discovered this domain. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to show you is just ahead.
О, столб творений. Забавненько. Новая лока открылась. Я не думал, что они действительно в это я обновил локу новую завезли. Хотя, не, ну я же смотрел даже. Стримы даже смотрел, там было. Только я думал, ну, а не эту. О, красиво.
Look. The people of Belobog have not given up. I just want to give them a chance.
Так вы только что это нашли, фига вы, конечно, долго придумали всех сюда
Do you two
согнать.
recognize that broken down machine over there? I thought you might. Miss Topaz, I know you've done a lot of research into Belobog. I was wondering if there was any information on the engine of creation in your records?
Not at all. Which is why I find it so incredible. Such a massive feat of engineering, yet there's not a single mention of it in any of the Strategic Investment Department's reports.
I may know the reason why. The engine of creation was constructed solely by the people of Belobog, without any external assistance. The project was led by the first Supreme Guardian, Alyssa Rand. While warriors fought on the front lines, the engineers worked tirelessly behind the scenes, designing and constructing it.
So what you're saying is, the engine of creation was a weapon constructed by the Belabogians
Хотел продать.
themselves?
Yes, but not entirely. The engine of creation was commissioned for combat shortly after its completion, and played a significant role in the battles against the Legion. But Alyssa Rand had a long-term vision, one that nobody anticipated. For a long time, this feat of engineering was codenamed the Geological Reconstruction Unit. It was actually given a much grander purpose: to help the Belabogians rebuild their homeland and restore their world to its former glory, after driving away all those who threatened it.
Remarkable. A vision that would transcend both time and generations of Belabogians. Madame Rand was truly an inspiring
Я послушал,
leader.
что там было. Придется стрим
Not to take
пересмотреть.
away from the Supreme Guardian in front of me. She's quite the inspiring leader as well.
Thank you. But I didn't really do anything. All I did was bring the people of Belobog together and make them aware that our hard-earned freedom was under immense threat once again. If we want to preserve this freedom, we must act and show those who doubt us that we, Belobog, have the will and the ability to control our own destiny. The outcome of our mobilization speaks for itself. The children of Belobog have made their decision. They have chosen to preserve this homeland with their own two hands.
I must say, I didn't anticipate this at all.
Ну чё, пиндосы, урылись? Тут дать.
I'll fight for this opportunity for you, Branya. I shouldn't have conflated your own circumstances with my childhood. My world never had a resolute leader, so people gave up on the idea of saving themselves long ago.
Then, are you willing to retract your previous decision? As for the debt, we'll find a way to gradually repay it. But it'll take some time.
Но это же не хочется руководства, они хотят сейчас деньги получить, просто продать нах. Какие удастся говорить их, показать, что очень прибыльно, да, она говорила. Там роботы и прочее.
Unfortunately, the acquisition of Urilla 6 is a strategic decision that's been approved by the IPC's top brass.
Ну вот это да.
Even if I wanted to overturn it, convincing them would be extremely difficult. Unless...
Don't worry, Miss Topaz. Myself and all of the Nameless aboard the Astral Express are willing to vouch for this world.
Fantastic. That might just work. As for the reports and potential accountability...
Ну это же можно понять. Типа, не знаю, зачем ее захейтили прям.
I'll handle it.
Понятно, что... Любой персонаж, который не на 100%, типа, добрый и хороший, и прям на все 100. Все, начинается вайн. Все орут. Это довольно реальная ситуация, факта. Типа, да, человек неплохой, но просто сильно работает, скажем так. Фиговня, конечно. Только сейчас заметил. Или только сейчас показали. Вот эти вот провод так намотанный к клавиатуре. И архив-то, ёкарный май. Где-то тут писали, что теперь можно сюжет смотреть. Точно не здесь. Думается про базу данных. Ладно, надо поискать где. Блин, ну классно сделано. Поехали.
Miss Topaz.
Don't worry, it's nothing I can't handle. There are more important things than title. That's unlikely. At most, they might just lower my rank and reduce my bonus a bit. But don't worry, I work for far more than just a paycheck.
Thank you so much for all you've done. I never thought we'd drag the Express into a crisis again. Much less one that might
rift. I wouldn't go that far. Also, it's me who's mostly to blame. I didn't keep my subordinates in check. Oh, I think I might know who you're talking about. You could say he's, special case. For most people, the interview process is much shorter.
I'm glad we're able to discuss some lighter topics. Well, you all need some rest after everything you've been through. I have arranged rooms for you all at the Goethe Hotel. Miss Topaz, if you need somewhere comfortable to stay.
I appreciate the offer, but I need to head back and deliver my reports. It's been great getting to know you both. I hope we can work together again in the future. Only next time under better circumstances.
Quietly. Quietly.
Why don't you head over to the Goethe Hotel and relax? I'm sorry you didn't get to experience the festival atmosphere.
Just опасный говорит, ладно. Смарт он.
I was worried things were gonna get ugly again. A peaceful solution is always the best solution. Speaking of solutions, are they repairing that giant robot? The one we fought against? I remember you took control of it and helped us defeat Cocolia. Right, I totally forgotten. That's the whole reason we came here in the first place. Well, looks like everyone in the city's helping with construction. Doubt there'll be much time for celebrating. Still, look on the bright side. We got to meet a top IPC executive. The trip wasn't a complete waste, right?
рынок будущего. Оба рынок будущего 2. Пошли в гашню. Ну, точнее, я выключаю просто стрим. На самом деле. Ну мне и хватит, да. Да. Хотя идея есть пойти просто на станцию. Ну, не на станцию, а учебу.
Nice.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall?
Не хватает конусов. Ну, ладно. Единственный вариант не играть сейчас и успеть прокачать Илон. И тогда пройти. Типа тут урона хватит. Просто нужно, чтобы был конус. Из 4-звездочных. Что у нас есть? Можно сигнал Клары поставить. 70 уровня, но она херово работает. Но это все же хоть что-то. Легче прокачать его. Это, говорят, неплохо работает.